Ramon.
I don't know. It was a dance, I think. Hello, everyone. Hello, Dahlia, Michelle, and Ramon. Sorry, clicking all these buttons. How are you all doing today?
Amazing.
Welcome to Cut the Shit, Cue the Genius, our weekly webisode, podcast, live stream, whatever you want to call it, where we get to chat with brilliant minds in and outside of the events industry. Dahlia, Michelle, and I like to kick shit up every week and just, poke holes in all the things that everyone is doing. And we like to bring in experts to help us hash out some topics. So today I'm super excited. Usually we let Dahlia kick off the show because she's just such a great person at doing that. But I'm really excited about today's episode because we get to chat with friend and client and partner in many ways, Ramon Ray. Ramon, thank you for joining us from New Jersey. You're in New Jersey, as we will talk about, world traveler. But Ramon has founded and sold several businesses. His most recent business that he sold that I've had the opportunity to work with is Smart Hustle. There's a book sticking out on your bookshelf. I see it there, Celebrity CEO, which he recently wrote. And that's really around the topic that we are talking about today. How do you build your personal brand in a way that generates revenue and can attract people to your event, can attract people to your brand, can get people to buy your brand, which would be, even more amazing, I'm sure, for many people. Ramon is a true hustler. Ramon, I've seen you everywhere this year. You are always a hustler, but this year I feel like you have not kept your feet in New Jersey much at all.
Like you have your own plane or something.
Yeah.
Not yet.
So first of all, welcome.
Thank you.
How has it been for the last few months? You've been everywhere. You were just with Gary Vee. You're with all these like big names that everybody knows, flying high. How's it been? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. First of all, it's great to be here. Thank you, Dahlia and Michelle and Liz, for having me here. Liz, always great to be with friends and new friends and rekindling old friendships, however it was. So thank you for having me here. And I can't wait to learn with you all, the audience that you all put together. So I feel good. Indeed, Liz, I have been doing a few things. I've started a few companies, sold a few companies. I'm a motivational speaker, keynote speaker, as you know, and a producer of events. Thanks to working with you, Liz, who does such great work, a producer of a lot of content. And how I make my living, just for the audience to understand where I come from, is really working with large brands like Dell and Zoho, Microsoft, AT&T. I can go on, helping them reach small businesses. They don't need me to crush their servers or do Facebook ads. They can spend trillions on that, but they have a little bit of money set aside for influencers, as it were. Word I don't use, but that's the word we use. And I live quite well kind of in that flow, and then speaking at events and then dreaming stuff. Hey, Liz, you know what? Let's do the Milk Farmers AI Red Cup Summit. What do you think? Well, Ramon, sounds dumb, but if anybody can do it, you can do it. Great. By the way, I have a sponsor. Let's do it. And we do it. Not quite like that, but it's good to be here. And nice to see you, Michelle and Dahlia.
As you guys can tell, he has a personality. So he's great on stage, amazing MC. I mean, you're at all these events. When you're traveling and you're talking about, Ramon is a master of content production, whether you're the one, you do so many videos of live streams and the little, what are they called? I'm bad with this.
Reels and things of this nature.
Insta, whatever, video, TikTok, all that kind of stuff. And you're still very active on Clubhouse, right?
Very much.
So all of this that is constantly putting you out there in a lot of different ways and has therefore made you a celebrity in many ways, even if you want to call it micro influencer or influencer, whatever you want to call it. People know you and they see your journeys and they feel like they know who you are because they see all of this content out there. And then how does that translate to money?
Sure. Great question.
everyone can create content, but not everyone can take it to that next place.
Yes. So Dahlia kind of hinted at it before we went online. In a way, there is no clear strategy dotted line in a way, but hold on everybody, because personal branding is what I talk about. So in some way, there's no, I wake up in the morning, ooh, I'm going to take this red cup and slurp on the Clubhouse as I do. Ooh, that's going to cause somebody to hire me. Doesn't work that way. So that there's no clear strategy. But I know, Liz, you and I have been together for some years now. What works for Ramon, if I can help others learn, is that me producing an overwhelming amount of content for people who know, like, and trust Ramon. After the 100, 10 million, billion of people, all I need is a few people per month or per year for me to live a life I want, for them to pay me to hire me on stage, to pay me to do sponsored content, to pay me to buy my blog. So those are the three main revenue streams I've done. Me doing all that content, something will happen. And the fourth, it may not be money, but it could be a Dahlia reaching out. You know what? I see Ramon the seventh on my LinkedIn. Dang, Liz, we haven't had Ramon on our show.
Those algorithms are working.
So even that happening, right? It may not be the direct dollar, but it could be just, let's have him on our podcast show, invite him here. So money, but more importantly, relationships. And that, Liz and Dahlia and Michelle, happens to me all day long.
All about relationships.
Wow.
Well, yeah. Michelle is like, whoa.
I'm thinking here in my head, how much coffee do you drink? I just want to know how I can fuel up to that level.
You didn't even used to drink coffee until recently.
And were you
right?
born this way? Were you coming out like screaming?
That is just in his blood. It's running through the veins. Just natural energy.
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, just by watching Ramon's like brand across all channels, etc., and the algorithms are working, FYI. But I think there might be like a fifth revenue opportunity for you where you should bottle up your energy and sell it in bottles. And, you know, I'd be first in line. I'm telling you right now. But I love where you're going. I see where it can impact our audience, our event profs in a way, because I also think there's going to be a surge in the next year or 2 years of independence, of those that have survived the Corona coaster, those that have survived, I don't want to work for the man anymore, not, you know, in the same mission state of mind as the company I'm with, and I'm going to go off on my own. And I think there's, as you know, like, and maybe you can share your story, where it's super scary. Taking the first step, thinking, are you going to do it? Are you, you know, on your own? What do you need to build that brand, that credibility, you know, those relationships? A lot of, I'm not going to say a lot. What if I'm an introvert and I can't build the right relationships? What the hell is going to happen to me? Kind of thing. So any advice on that? Because I think that independents and contractors and the freelancers it's going to be a big thing going forward.
You just asked him like 20 questions in one.
Yeah, well, but they're all related.
I picked one thing.
I got it. No, thank you, Michelle.
Okay.
Liz said it right offline. Dahlia asks questions like I do. That's so funny. I tell my guests this. I know I've asked you 75 questions. Please pick one and answer right now. But by the way, a side issue. May I make a deviation and may I break news right now, Liz? Is that okay with y'all?
Yeah.
And that's because
you're running for president.
Yeah, not quite.
Is that what you're going to say?
And poor Dahlia, she opened the door 1 inch. So I'm going to put my whole foot to it.
Hey, I gave you that one.
I have in Jasper the beginnings of a book called Unapologetically Positive, which I want to release. Based on what you said, Dahlia, I would like to run with it and have some sort of big thingamajiggy, unapologetically positive, because thank you for recognizing that, but I'm often asked that. I don't know where it looks, but I think if Dahlia, Liz, Ramon, and Michelle got together and somehow figured out a launch, a tour, a book, a sponsor, something could be done. I'll leave it at that. Conversation for another day, but I'm calling you out, Dahlia, because you opened the door.
But hang on, you have the book on Jasper. You want to explain what Jasper is? Really?
Oh, sorry.
Like a hot nanosecond, because for those that don't know and are still in fear mode of AI and ChatGPT, even though we know what Jasper is. Just
Sure. So ChatGPT is the popular tool that most know, but those who don't, which is AI generator, a generative AI to help you write and do so much more: photos, videos, music, and more. But that's the essence of it. It's this smart, uber smart tool with all these algorithms for you to say, I like red cups. Red cups are great. Please write 1,000 words on that. Looking at all the knowledge of the internet, 2019 or so before, it can put together a thoughtful blog post. Because here's the thing, in my opinion, there's a discussion, is it plagiarism, all these things or not? Most of everything we say is not new. There's one or two ways we do it. Liz may have her special sauce, which she's learned over the years of how to do events and stages. Here's what the Liz team does. We put pink, paint on it. We've learned that. But that's just highlighting the stage. She got that from, we've been doing that for centuries. So what I'm trying to get at, Dahlia and Michelle and Liz, is that I don't, is waking up early in the morning good for you? I don't have to think that hard and hire somebody or write that content about that. From Michelle Obama to Oprah to George Washington, they've all said why we should wake up early in the morning. That content and IP can be in my book.
got
So
it.
that's the summary.
All right.
So to answer the 75 questions you asked me, yes, I think we are in the day and age. We will always have corporate America. I don't want a freelancer showing me the oxygen mask on my next flight. That's not going to happen. I want FAA certified billion-dollar brand. But for most other things, you're right. That smart person who has the hustle, Marie Forleo, right? Everything is figure outable. Looking at my bookshelf there. For those kind of people, it's amazing what you can start from zero. Gary Vaynerchuk, famous quote, 1 is greater than 0. And so, yes, Dolly, I'm a firm believer that those who have a bit of smart, bit of hustle, bit of grind, leverage their networks and connectivity, stay friendly, worry about the money later. When I think of the relationship of Liz and I, we touch base and email and ideate. Good things can happen. That's what I believe. So, yes, I'm a firm believer. This is the generation we're in, the world we're in. My daughter, 25 years old, she's on her own right now. I need money. Let me go to Canva, put up a flyer. Who wants a tutor for your kids? Boom, money in bank. PayPal, account done. We've been doing it for years, but this is how it is.
So three very quick tips for someone who needs to, you need to push them out the door, but we're talking doors still, to do something on their own and to solidify that brand, because a lot of professionals think their brand belongs to the company that they're in. And that's the fear factor.
Yes, I totally get it. So I think for the professional that's working for a company, do be careful, understand the legal ramifications of what you're going to do, so you're not end up being fired like I was from the United Nations. So that's that. However, for progressive, as it were, non-political progressive companies that say, oh, Michelle works with us. She's a rock star. She goes online every day. And especially if she wants to be there, please, Michelle, go on TikTok all day long. I'm using the red cup example, my favorite red cup. Just promote us as you're doing it. So that's number 2. There's room for Michelle to be creative and still work for a company. Number 3, though, I think that those are a bit tentative about getting out or not. Dahlia, what I'm learning more and more is that, as Jesus said, the poor you'll always have with you. I believe there's always going to be people, no matter how much you push and pull them due to fear, due to perfection, they're just not going to do it. And so my call is to those who are willing to do it but need help. Today is your day. You have knowledge in your head that somebody else needs. Getting a simple website, getting some content, making a small investment. Hey, Dahlia, can I pay you $50, $100, $500, whatever, for your time? Hey, Liz, can you walk me through maybe just how it is to do an event? You're willing to make a little bit of risk, as I've done with my life. And that's Liz, right? Just experimenting, trying. Let's see if it fails. That's okay. There's room for a lot of things to be done. And I think I told Liz, I'm going to just call it out. Zone of Genius Conference and Awards 2024. It's going to happen. 97%. It's going to happen.
Google Doc now, but it's going to happen.
Yes.
Tell us about, I want to talk through we talk a lot on the show about revenue and how that's going to change, especially in the context of events. And we think about, sponsors and paid tickets and all this kind of thing. And I really have believed for many years that the influencer side of things, like a lot of what we talk about on the show, and I think in our industry, is very big brand pays a lot of money, hosts an event, hopes that they can get some sponsors to help cover their costs and that some people will buy tickets. But there is this whole world of people like yourself. And I just saw that you were at Gary Vee's own conference where they are the brand and they're using their influence to attract sponsor dollars and I mean, I don't really know what Gary charged for his conference for tickets, but I would guess it wasn't free and it wasn't $12.99. So, they're getting all of this attention and that increases the rate of the amount of money that they can make essentially. So can you talk us through like how you're seeing that in your own business and all these other events that you go to? Because I think that's a model that the events industry needs to shift towards a little bit. And also that is highly overlooked. If you talk about independent planners in our industry, people just assume, oh, you're Liz King Events. I never heard of Liz King. So you're nobody. It's like, you may not know who these people are working with. So how does that work in your mindset? Can you walk people through that?
Yes, there are some of the more traditional events, and I shouldn't say traditional because there's all kind of great events that have what, Liz, 5 to 10,000 or more people, even 1,000 or more people. Great events like this, that's probably the bread and butter. I'm just making some assumptions, so this is more your cup of tea of the event industry for years. But the secret that I'm saying, Liz and Dahlia and Michelle, and I'm going to go off track a bit here. There's a guy named Lamar Tyler. His business is focused on Black business owners. Now, there's nothing different about ClickFunnels and a white guy and a black guy, but Lamar Tyler goes for Black business owners, how to grow your business online. Ladies, he has 2 annual events a year. So that's one thing. His own community, over 1,000 people in a ballroom paying him about $30,000 a year for his program because I'm in it. But here's the thing. Each one of those people, like a Ramon, get 20 people. 100 people, 75 people, 30 people, paying them thousands each together, and they hire event planners. So I don't know if that made sense, Liz, what I'm trying to say, that ripple effect. To your point, there's room for the influencer who nobody knows them outside of their industry, but as Seth Godin talks about, famous to your cousin, and it may be a bit harder, but the Ramones of the world, as we want to grow and get our tribes together, get our communities together, we're going to be charging a premium for that experience. And the best of us don't go it alone. We work with people who do events to help us execute on those events. So point is, the dollar's out there, maybe a bit less, maybe not. It may be a little tougher to get, but it's out there. That's where I think Liz was maybe hinting, the hidden ones. My son asked me, Liz, Dahlia, and Michelle, Dad, can you explain again how you work with large brands? You have like 2 people on Instagram and 2.5 people on Twitter. I'm like, because they need a personality. And it's not just 2, but meaning they don't need me for the Super Bowl ad, ESPN, UFC. That's another world, another budget. But I flow well. That person is like, Ramon, we got 20,000. We got 10,000. We got 3,000 per blog post. That's my world. And I can make a highly profitable, very good living off of those crumbs.
Are your kids following in your footsteps? Because it sounds like his job was to just take Dad and cut him down to size. In a way, you're famous, but to me,
Yes, that's funny you said that, Michelle, because yes, I go through that in my. It's funny. My daughter is probably one of my ardent followers on IG. She kind of pretends, oh, what you're doing, Dad, I don't like. It's boring. She mocks funnels and all that, Liz, jokingly. Dad, yes, we know, but liking everything. So Michelle, to your point, so my daughter's a full-time teacher, and she's told me unequivocally, nope, don't want to do what you're doing. Don't want to sit at a desk. And I get it. Some people cannot live the world of, I'm assuming, what we do here, especially I know Liz, at home all day with a screen of 75 computers and a screaming child. I can do it all day long. That's just me. But some people need the cubicle, the office cooler talk. Hey, Bob, how are you? Did you see the game? Oh, my God. I can't. I don't like that. So my daughter's a full-time teacher, but she has the hustle in her. Because again, she's seeing me how to make money, how to invoice and all these things. And my son, he is a personal development coach focused on men. So yes, he's following that, and he lives in Europe and helps. He has a little group of men going back to events. He does events. He does masterminds. He charges a premium. So speaking to the event folks, don't just look to get a client being the National Federation of Firefighters. That's good money. That's big. But look for that second level of people that are making up a couple 100,000 to $1 million or $2 million in sales. The niche influencer. We have budgets and or we get money to do whatever you call niche events that you can still build a nice business on.
Yeah. I mean, the money's coming in not only from the tickets. I mean, people are paying, large corporations, I think, are having trouble getting people to pay a few $100s for their annual association event or their annual blah, blah, blah conference. I don't think Gary Vee or Ramon Ray are really having that much trouble getting people to pay $1,700, $3,500 for a ticket to very similarly planned event,
right.
if you think about it. So that shows me that not only is there money for event planners, but there is money in events. Tickets are being sold. The question is, what are you selling? How are you selling it? And what's the overall format that works? Because, you know, a lot of people think the old, big, established, large events are the ones that have to just keep happening, but there's so much innovation.
And Liz, can I add also to speaking to the event planners out there, help people like Ramon. I don't mean black guys with yellow vests and glasses on, like people like Ramon, like influencers. That was a joke. Everybody gets to calm, not you all, calm down, people listening, calm down. We can laugh. America needs to laugh more ourselves. Really, we do. Oh my Lord.
Wait a
People
minute.
just
I wear
scared
glasses.
someone right
I
now.
like yellow.
Yeah, I did. I scared
So-
someone right now. Was like, they almost called
Don't
the
be
PC police.
denigrating people that wear yellow.
It's like, holy shit, we're calling the police on this one.
Yeah. But the other level for event planners, though, is not just the tactic and transactional stuff of events, you know, food and stage and lighting, which event planners, Liz and others, can do so well, but help us also execute on the event thought. That's another opportunity, whether you charge more or not, or you just make me a success. Either way, things like how, like at Lamar Tyler's event, for example, there were no sponsors. I've been to Grant Cardone's event, no sponsors. They were their own sponsor. So many of us want to get in that game or do that, but we don't only need help with the core event professional stuff, but now help me. I don't even know what to ask. Help me know how I can sell Ramon's coaching at Ramon's program, but that takes a whole nother train of thought and skill. But that's another opportunity for event planners who may want to partner with others even. Hey, I got this hot commodity, this influencer, they're having an event. How do we help them be massively more successful? And then there's money for all of us.
So I think when I speak to a lot of event professionals that are in transition in regards to careers or in regards to mindsets of, I don't want to do what I was doing for the last 20 years and I need a reset button. And the thing that always keeps coming up is, I don't know what I'm good at. So therefore, for them to build their personal brand, or, you know, to be the CEO of their new brand, what's the first step for them to really identify? I mean, you talk about event planners. Event planners know what they're really good at. We're cat herders, you know, we're jugglers, but I'm talking about like those who are maybe in operations, in trade show organizer or associations. Those are associations. I think they've been beat down so hard, they don't even know what they're good at anymore. And so like they need that first step of really solidifying, this is what I stand for, this is what I'm really good at, their differentiator, and then defining that for them to say, now I can build that brand. And so it's a 1-2 question. I'm not 75 anymore.
I got you.
To be like what? So that's the first step. And then the second step is, how much content do they need to create in order to get that new brand out?
Sure. I love the question. I think a few things. I think finding out what, again, my other business, Zone of Genius, right? zoneofgenius.com, Celebrity CEO, celebrityceo.com. I think there's a couple things to do. One, when you wake up, metaphorically, what do you love? What gets you fired up that you're like, I could do this all day long? Number two, ask your clients, think about, what do we do really well? Is really what you do well making sure there's shrimp or fish at the conference? Maybe it could be. Or is what you do really well, the person said they have limited budget, but they need to look pizzazz, and you all day long deliver. So that's an example. So I think finding out what you love and then really digging deep. You may have to go to the library, go to the park, take a break and ask yourself, what do we do well? And ask your clients what they like most about you. You'll hear it. Dahlia, I used to hear people say, I still hear people say, Ramon, we loved your energy. And it would anger me, Dahlia, and I got depressed after a while because I wanted to be the smart guy in the room, and I can hear myself even getting ready to cry as I say it because it was so painful. And some older uncle or older person or friend, like it could be combining several things from people, said, Ramon, stop. That is a gift. I didn't see it, Dahlia, until just even a few months ago, and I'm dialing in on being Ramon more. I'm going to be him even more because
Bruno, you got your answer. There's going to be energy in bottles. So
because I was trying to be Seth Godin, my mutual friend, trying to be Steve Harvey, trying to be everybody who I looked up to and thought like I had to be Seth and say, hi, I'm Ramon. Welcome everybody, Dahlia. That was a great question. One day there was a butterfly. The butterfly was on the back, but that's not me. I get so that's
that was like not you at all. I got scared for a second. I was like, wait, what? Who's that?
And then you asked about content, which I think is a great point, is that I think the content is in there. Content marketing is in there. That's Ramon's game for sure. But I want to argue against myself. Let's say you're the person that's not great at content. Now, content is one asset you should do. Then you're going to have a lot of conversations, a lot of coffees, a lot of teas, and build relationships. Liz's game, what she's done, right? Building a community of people who are her, as it were, competition, as it were. But she's bringing them together. The Liz and Caruso and Liz King events is out there. So I hope that's helpful. So there's many ways to get attention, build trust, and then make a sale, which is the Celebrity CEO framework, attention, trust, and sales. Many ways to do that. But I think that the big thing to do is figure out how you're going to get attention. And sometimes it's just creating relationships. And don't forget as well, once you do good work, you will have that client theoretically for life. And let me just say one more thing about Liz. Can I say what I see her superpower is? I don't even know if Liz has asked me because, we're friends and friends treat themselves worse, meaning in a good way. It's weird. But point being is that here's what I like about Liz. Let me tell you why I work with Liz. I like working with Liz.
The Dahlia moment. Dahlia and Michelle moment.
Because I feel she understands me. And I sometimes don't even understand myself. And I feel very safe with Liz. So the shrimp and staging and lights and white or blue furniture, I don't give a darn about all that crap. And Liz knows it. I just dream. So this event I'm doing, I can smell it. This is what I do well, I think. Zone of Genius Conference and Awards. I can feel it right now. 500, 300. I don't know. I don't care. That's Liz's problem, not mine. People at the event, I can feel it. Seth Godin, I can see it. But the detail how to get there, that's where I fall. That's my weakness or my strength. You feel what I mean? So to me, if everybody's listening here, that may not be your superpower, but if it's helpful for what I'm talking about, Liz, I feel I can just throw crap at her. Just throw it like ideate and like, I don't get it. I don't know, but I feel safe. So that's one of a few things that I like about Liz. And I think everybody listening, event planners and others, you have some special gift that your client likes about you. So what I would do is ask them and ask others, because you may think, oh, we have the best service. Oh, y'all got the best service. I'm a professional speaker. When I go to National Speaker Association, everybody got a TED Talk. Everybody met Trump. Everybody met Obama. Everybody flew to Dubai. Everybody's a speaker. Everybody's rated $10,000. Everybody is on the front cover of Huffington Post. We all got that. And if you're Black, you shave your head. So we all got that. But what makes you special? Really special. And when you hone in on that, now you'll find that you got something going on. That was way too much, but I hope that was helpful.
I'm done.
I'm done.
Show's up.
No, literally, I am done. It was lovely meeting you. I have to jump, but I'll see you somewhere.
You will indeed.
I got whatever motivational thing you're selling. I got to get it. And
what state are you in?
Like a cassette in my player.
What state are you in, Michelle?
Bye.
Bye. Okay.
Where's Michelle? I don't even know.
Michelle lives in Salt Lake City.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, I thought so. Utah. Okay.
So you're spot on, because what you
thank you, Rachel.
Yeah, you got groupies, man. Like this is it. This is part of this. But
and Dahlia, can I say one more thing? Oh, thank you, Craig. Is also for the event planner, because I think as we're helping get carriage here too, is that to know what your client's strength and weakness are. I just wanted to add that. So I don't know if Liz does that intentionally or not, but again, because we just work so well together. But I think not only should the event planner know their strengths, but you have to know your client very well. You may have a client that's hyper detailed. So when you're walking that carpet, when you're checking the venue and a chair's out of whack, you know, oh, Mr. So-and-so, Miss So-and-so is coming. A big client's going to walk through. They don't want one chair out of place. You should know that. For me, not that I don't care about it. It's just I trust other people to deal with that stuff. So
and when it's like, when everyone knows what their zone of genius is, then you can find the right partnerships, and you find the right support. Cause like, I am not the kind of planner who cares that a chair is out of place. That is the expectation of event planners. You're super detail oriented. I'm like, look, as long as you're making money, you're making people happy, you're making the connections. That's what events are about. The food is, it obviously matters, but doesn't have to be perfect. And so I know that there are people like you, and then Jennifer is watching, and Ramon, Jennifer and I work so well together because she is much more detail oriented than I am. I'm always at an event and she'll say like, hey, we have to think about this. I'm like, oh, you're right. But it's important, but you can't really do that until you know yourself really well and you own it, and the authenticity that you talk about. All of that has to like come together and that all empowers you to be the celebrity.
Absolutely.
Gosh.
Yeah, this was fast and furious. I feel like we need a part 10. But
so we only did one. There's going to be a part 10. I love how you think.
Yeah. And everything in between, but we have to think,
Gotcha.
But I love I love the passion.
Thank you.
And don't ever be that butterfly, because that's too little. And, the other thing that I think that people, you're absolutely right. I think people need to find their passion, but what they also need to do is find their tribe.
Yes. So true.
So right now, and I'm talking more of the little ones that are coming in to, to the industry or to just being their own brand. Because I see them not really focusing on building those relationships that will foster them professionally. Yeah. And so if you're going to write another book in Jasper, it's going to have to be lessons to the younger people kind of thing.
That'll be your book.
Well, or our book. I think that would be cool. But I honestly think that people, maybe anybody that's listening in, should take the time with a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, a cup of Ramon, I don't know, but to really put down on paper what their passion is in regards to where they want to invest their energy, which is, I don't want to say it's going to be limited, but in a way it is. So like, if you had this much energy professionally, where do you want to invest it, and with whom? And that's the assignment.
Yes, I love that assignment. You're right. I think part of it goes back to relationships and networks. That's one of the critical things, Dahlia. You may not get that buck or that dollar today, but the relationship's so important. I think of me and Liz's mutual friend Jamie, who's my head of operations, and she's an independent, COO, as it were, of entrepreneurs. Point being is that I refer business to her. I refer business to Liz. Liz is recommending me for stuff. We not even know it, but it's the relationships over time. When you build up a database of 10 of those, 20 of those, 100 of those champions, everybody can live well. This is America. There's enough money for all of us to live, if not decently, very well. Like Liz makes way too much money. I mean, like she's like all over there with her family. She's not. I saw her like a night I went by her house.
Craig like pipe up right now. So he probably threw the kids out, and he's like, I gotta get on this.
She was covering up like 3 Maseratis. I went by her house. She was covering them up quietly, like
they're hiding. They're hiding.
Got it. One Maserati for each boy already.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Well, I don't think there's any better way to wrap up this show.
We just manifested Maseratis for the boys, Liz.
Done. I think we need to end now before everything explodes. Ramon, thank you so much. My gosh, it is always an honor to work with you and to brainstorm and generate ideas. And I always love an opportunity to share your genius and your energy with the world. Ramon is everywhere. He generates so much content. So if you have loved all the content he shared today, please do follow him on every single channel. Just look Ramon Ray, Zone of Genius, Celebrity CEO, all of these projects that you're involved in. So thank you so much for taking some time from your day to share some wisdom with our audience. I'm excited to share with the audience that we did start, as we promised last week, a brand new Slack. So check it out at bit.ly/events reimagined Slack. Be sure to join us there. There's just a few of us there, so we need you to spread the word. talking about, as Dahlia was talking about, building your tribe and finding your tribe. This is one of them where we're always reimagining what events are supposed to look like and what they can be. And Ramon, you helped us a lot with that today. So thank you so much to all of you. We will be back next week for yet another episode. And until then, keep cutting the shit, redreaming, reimagining, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.